Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of BB News. And as Mauricio Pochettino is trimming his squad even further, we're looking at some more outgoings, and in particular, Mateo Kovacic. So, it looks like Mateo Kovacic could be joining Manchester City. Mateo Kovacic's representatives, there's some positive talks with Manchester City, and Manchester City are going to be putting in a bid for Kovacic, so it looks like he may be off. And I'm hoping that if he does go, it's going to be nothing less than 35 to 40 million pounds. So, with this news, a lot of Chelsea fans are not happy. The hipsters amongst us who see Kovacic as a valuable member of our squad because he can beat the press and he does some silky dribbles and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate everything that Kovacic has done for the club, but unlike some people, I just don't think he will be as badly missed as some believe. Some people think we're losing a world-class talent. He's a good talent, but world-class is stretching it. People use the word world-class too much these days, and he's good at beating the press. As I said, that's his strength, is beating the press. Tactically, I think there's some improvement can be made, but is it because he's playing in a Chelsea system? Playing in a different system, like under Pep Guardiola with Manchester City? Maybe. He can iron out some of his faults in his game. And because Manchester City score goals from all over the pitch, you're not relying on Kovacic for goals. He had a good season, last season I think, where he did have his best assist season for Chelsea. He's a scorer of great goals, not a great goal scorer as I keep saying. He defensively sometimes he gets found wanting, sometimes he's a bit ill-disciplined. But again, is it because of a lack of proper coaching? But he was coached with Tuchel. Even under Tuchel, you saw some deficiencies in his game as well. At Manchester City, he'll be more of a rotational player. He's not going to be expected to be in the starting 11, but they see him as someone who can fulfil the role of a 6 and an 8. So it'll be interesting to see if he does go to Manchester City, how his game progresses. A lot of people are saying that he's a leader and a winner, but you know what? I can't see those leadership qualities. Especially not on the pitch. Maybe I'm not sure off the pitch, but on the pitch, I think sometimes when the going gets tough, he's one of the ones. He's in our side who doesn't galvanise the team, and he's not a big talker on the pitch neither, from what I've seen. And you're talking about a winner. No, don't get me wrong, I don't want to discredit this guy, but you know, we've won the Champions League and the World Club Cup, the UEFA Cup. Smicer at Liverpool, Barros at Liverpool, Rees at Liverpool. They've won, apart from the World Club Cup, they've won the similar things, but they've also won FA Cups and League Cups as well. So are they, you know, looking back at those names now, a lot of the fan base who weren't around then probably don't even know who these players are. When we won the Champions League, again, not wanting to discredit anything from what we did in the Champions League, it was in a season where it was lockdown, and it made it slightly easier for us, especially when we played against Real Madrid. We saw how the crowd got them going at the Bernabeu when we went 3-0 up that couple last season. But the crowd got you know, with the crowd on their side, they didn't give up, and then they scored that late goal. So it may have been a different story had we had played at their ground. So for me, as I said, I'm not taking anything away from what we did that season, but we got to admit that it was made a little bit more easier for us in that season. For me, I want to see a leader. For me, is somebody who's challenging for the title. You can lead us to the title, push us to the title. When we had leaders in the side, our Drogbas, our Coles, our Terrys, our Lampards, those ones, we won titles with them. They pushed us onto titles. They were consistent. They didn't give us 3 good games and then 3 average games. They were consistent over 38 games. For me, the league is your bread and butter. The league proves what you are as a player. Cup games, as I mentioned those Liverpool players before, you've probably even forgotten them since I've made this video. Some of you never heard of them before. Cup games, you can be good for a period of games and get through and win a cup. But in the league, your bread and butter, it's got to be consistent. There's no dropping off, otherwise it's a tough game, especially the Premier League. And the thing is, it's not even winning it, because obviously Manchester City have raised that bar, Liverpool have looked good. We haven't even competed with the midfield. Like, Jorginho's gone now, Kovacic gone. We haven't competed. We've been nowhere near the Premier League title. So for those who are sort of saying, oh, bad move, I'm not in that camp. If we can get some money for him, and because the thing is, I've said that we want to have a revamp. We want to have a refresh, get rid of some of the midfield area we've identified as a weak area. So we are having a clear out in that area and bringing in fresh new blood. So we can't have it both ways. A lot of our fan base are crying out for a clear out of players, but then when it's one of their favourite players, they're screaming about it. What we're doing is going to be a big mistake, whatever. People who don't like Mason Mount are happy to let him go. And a lot of the people who don't like Mason Mount are Kovacic and Jorginho fans, let's be honest. So a lot of them now are crying that Kovacic may be going. The same ones who were probably crying when Jorginho went. But they're willing to let somebody like Mason Mount go. So again, as always, agenda driven by a lot of our fan base. We need to rip off the band-aid sometimes to start again, start from scratch. So I'm all in for a revamp. But having said that, a little bit of caution for me, because it has to be done properly. And the one thing that Kovacic does offer us is experience. He's been in and around the club, for 4 seasons now, 27 or 28. So he's at that right age where he can guide the youngsters. We don't want to be in a situation where we have just pure young players in the midfield. We need a little bit of experience, because when you look at it, Enzo Fernandez is 22. Kante may be going as well. And so you've got 22-year-old Enzo who's just come into this, is 6 months. Then you're going to have people like Chukwuemeka, he's still 21, 22, he's still young. Then if we bring in, say, an Ugarte, who's at 22, if we're bringing in a Moise Caicedo, he's young as well. So we're going to have all these young players. So we're going to have no experience in there. So we've got to be a little bit careful of how we're building. But I did make a point to somebody earlier today when I said, let's be real. We're not going to be winning the league for at least 2 or 3 seasons, I'll say. Manchester City are still going to dominate. As long as Pep's there, as long as Erling Haaland's there, they have set the bar. They've raised that bar. And let's be honest, even if we had a really good squad, it's going to be difficult for us to compete with them. So build a young squad, get them ready, get them playing together. 2 or 3 years' time, when they're mature, when Pep's gone, when Haaland's gone, maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to step up and take over. You never know. So what do you guys think then? What do you guys think about this Kovacic situation as more and more players are leaving? Hudson-Odoi, maybe another one who's going to be out the door, as well as some of the others I mentioned yesterday. Are you happy to see Kovacic go? Do you think it'll be a good sacrifice so that we can revamp our midfield? Or do you think we're making a big mistake in letting Kovacic go? Do you think he still has a lot to offer for the club? Stick your comments in the section below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. So take care for now. Bye-bye.